All right, quick video for the DIYs. You might find yourself working on your own vehicle, and like we did on this vehicle, just happen to find some snapped off, broken off studs in your chassis. Step one for me is going to be pull out the Australian made where possible, or other quality brand, maybe USA if you can't get this one anymore. Easy out, I've got the drill in the drill bit, the easy out's ready to go. First thing I'm going to do is use a pin punch and hit the end of the bolt, put a little mark there so it locates for the drill bit. So safety glasses, ear protection where possible, close as the center to the possible, close to the center as possible. Right, that was 2 hits with a heavy hammer. Now we're going to drill it out. Now, I'm in two minds about this because I want to go as big as I can, but I don't want to take all the material out, otherwise, yeah. So what I'm going to do, I'm using the 4mm. I'm using the number 3 with a 4mm drill bit. Not sure if that's the right decision. I'm not the expert on this. I've done a few here and there, works out all right usually. So you can put it in the comments what would have been the better option. It's obviously an M8, so there's plenty of room there. As I speak, I'm still contemplating, but 7.5mm drill bit, too big. 5.5. It's looking pretty big. I don't know if my hole center was that good, and you certainly want to drill smaller to start off with. So 4mm is what we're using. You could start off with even a smaller one, but because it's a new drill bit, I'm just going to use the 4mm. It's relatively small anyway. But if you feel more confident, you can start off with like about a 2mm bit anyway, just to get the hole started and then upsize it. Okay, we're pretty center in the hole. The reason I'm going for the 4mm drill bit straight away, another reason, besides it's new and sharp, is because the smaller the drill bit gets, it's easier to break. And it's hard material to drill. So I've got to keep pressure on it, and there's no point doing it at high speed. You're just going to cook and blunt your drill bit. So nice slow speed and give it a rest, which is why I've stopped now to yak to you for a minute while things cool down a bit, and then we'll give it a little bit more. I'm working on both at the same time. All right, so how much drilling? You can see a bit of steel. There's a bit of time drilling out the holes. And they've got a good size hole in them now, ready to get that easy out into the hole and see if these come out easy as you think. And with quality Australian made tools and Anthony's quality techniques, even though you can see I didn't really drill it that straight, did I? But you get that. I thought it was pretty straight, you know. So if you can do better than me, it'll work for you. Because by the looks of it, it looks like it's worked for me. So we won't even have to re-tap the thread in the chassis. We'll just make sure it's clear. Put a new bolt, make sure it's clear, put some grease on it, and there's the rest of that bolt. Why it broke off, was it over tightened? Was it just out back use? I don't know. But let's get this thing off here and go and get the other one out, eh? Maybe I accidentally drilled them a little bit on an angle on purpose. No, well, I didn't actually, but that's what usually happens. I can drill things and put in screws really straight, actually. But these things, it's something that always happens, and I think maybe it's meant to be. Now, the easy out's not bent, and I'll get it out in the end, and I'll show you how to get it out, because a lot of people are going, oh, now how do you get that out of there? Well, I've just gently tapped it in with a hammer. Probably a little bit more than gently, because I want it to grip and I want it to stay in there. And this is just a really dry thread. So you could put some spray on it to help you get it out quicker. But I'm just trying to make the video longer so I can get rich and make heaps of money. Now, that's not actually the case, because I can make more money here in the workshop in a day than the YouTube channel makes in a month. So don't worry about that. It's a waste of time. How do I get it out? It won't come out, right? All you do is turn it clockwise, the opposite way, and it comes out easy, like an easy out. Just so you know, these are available at Bunnings last time I checked. About 30 or 40 bucks, somewhere there. There's your old stuff. I'm going to give it a bit of an upgrade. I'm putting some of my thicker washers on through a couple of, up the front of the plate here. And I've tried to match up best as I can. I had a nice stainless steel one there to go on. Like I had a few spare of these K-on bolts. We're just going to use the same ones again. I'm in two minds. I've cleaned, the thread's clean, I've sprayed it. Bolt goes in and out nice and clean, no problem. I'm going to put some grease on it because I don't want it to seize up in there, but I don't want it to fall out and come loose. I'm actually going to put some 243. So it's going to be a real weird one where you're lubricating it, but you're trying to lock it as well. So part of the thread I'm going to put grease on, and the last bit I'm going to put some 243, which doesn't lock it, just it makes the thread a bit dirty, it makes it a bit tight, so if it was to come loose it shouldn't come undone. but hopefully the grease will stop it from getting dried up and seized in there as well. Let's just see what happens. It's going to be a bit of a combo. It's a new thing. This is a free repair I'm doing for a mate, so let's just, you know, give it a crack. So if you're wondering what I'm thinking, I'm going to put grease at this end of the bolt for the lubrication, but then down that end towards the washer, I'm going to put some Loctite at that end of where the thread will be. So I'll get on with it. Let's get this bash plate back on the vehicle. What was I thinking? I can't put washers on those ones. So they're in there without the washers, sitting loose at the moment. It's got the grease and it's got the Loctite. What I actually did in the end, I sent this spray grease up the threaded hole and put the Loctite on the bolt. And as I'm trying to get it back together, it's slowly become clear what's happened here, right? So this is a two-piece plate, a K-on one, very strong, but I believe it's probably been hit at the front here somewhere. One of these marks somewhere, like I've hit mine hundreds and thousands of times, but for whatever reason, it's hit something really solid at some point. And that's obviously the bolts held here at the front, both of these two. Told you I sprayed spray grease in the hole. Big mess, but it's anti-bolts getting seized and anti-rust and corrosion, right? So the bolts are in at this end, right? Okay, so it's not like there's adjustment back and forward or it doesn't move, it's locked in. It won't go up. You can see the hole, how far off its alignment is. Because when it was fixed at this end, I believe it's got hit at this side. Something really solid, probably that mark there. Some rock at speed, bang! It would have been a horrendous bang. And what it's done, it's held on there. It's bent that out a little bit because this side being the small side, that is going to bend easily. And the cover's just gone, the bash plate's just gone backwards and just sheared these heads of these two bolts straight off. So you know how we always work out what happened in the end? Well, we just work out what happened. So plate's going to come off. I've got to rebend this that way, and then hopefully all the bolts will line up. Otherwise, then we've got to bend this one a bit as well. There's a little bit of elongation adjustment in it, but as you can see at the moment, nowhere near for that one. It's just nowhere near it. So here I was for ages trying to avoid taking the front plate off and work around it. It just didn't work out for me in the end anyway. Gives me a chance, we'll spray these ones as well, eh? Show you this on the floor so you can back me up with my theory and understand what's happened. Right, let's just sit it up flat like it's mounted up on the chassis. Right, I just got it under the dodgy boots. Right, and you can see that one's a little bit up, but see that one's got a fair flick upwards and out of alignment. So yeah, I'll do a bit of work on that side and we'll see what happens. Man, that was hard work. I'm telling you, that was bent. You know how many times I put it on and off, on and off, on and off, on and off, and it wouldn't line up. You know, I tried to bend, you know, you try and bend this back, but then, you know, this bit here, once it kept bending in the wrong spot. I mean, I'm not an engineer. I'm not set up for plate bending and all that sort of stuff. So anyway, you know, got it sorted out in the end, and there it is. So that's definitely what happened. So watch how you're driving, what speed you're driving over the rough stuff, because when you hit a big rocket speed, with a big, heavy, strong bash plate, it's going to go boof, and that load is going to transfer straight back through and shear those clean off. That's what's happened. So on all the rough stuff where you might not have clearance under your vehicle, everybody, please slow down, because what's just happened here now is one of the reasons I don't take bash plates off. I want to service cars and I hate bash plates because it's just an absolute disaster, to be quite honest. It's just such a pain trying to straighten the things out. This is the first K-on one we've had bent, but it's been proven they can bend. The solution would be to have a little bit more clearance here, because I have noticed on my vehicle and in general, it's that 10 mil that protrudes more than the front section that gets caught up. So if we could somehow, I don't know if we've got clearance in there or not. I think we have. It looks like we've got plenty. So I'm not sure what the diff is. The diff is probably the problem, right? Yeah, it's over this side, right? So that's the problem, the diff. So if we could have a more gradual fold, a Mark II or a Mark III or a Mark V, whatever, a more gradual fold on this part of the sump guard, that might be more inclined to let whatever hits it slide over it rather than, so there's some really deep marks here. I'd say that deepest one there, that's going to be the one. Anyway, I've had my discussion and explanation. I've sprayed these. I'm going to get the front back on and wrap this one up because I spent way too much time on it, which is why I went, oh, should I do it or not? Well, I did it. It was easy getting those out, but because normally people cross-thread them and they're harder to get out as well. Then you got to re-drill it, re-tap it, goes next level. But so this was an easy one. Explain what happened. Bada bing, we got it sorted out in the end. It's not the best, but it's a heavy-duty bash plate and it's on the vehicle. Quick tech tip. The second plate's a bit heavier, so the design is, if if you have a look, you leave the front bolts in position, right? See that you got the chassis, you got the front, this, and by the way, this is the K-On upgrade, extra airflow, right? Extra airflow to your radiator. I highly recommend everybody with an ARB ball bar gets onto the K-On website and get yourself one of these and put in those, because Anthony said so. Air cooling to your diesel engine, there's not much more important than that, is there? Anyway, back onto this, that stays there. So you can see the chassis, you can see the plate, you can see the bolt with the washer. You'll see the same at this side, right? Right, washer underneath the plate. The plate's hanging there, it's loose. So all we've got to do is push it all the way back now, put these bolts in, they should line up now. It goes straight up through the hole there, right? Should line up straight up there, and then tighten these ones up. Make sure it's pushed all the way back, not forwards if you like, because that's going to help protect this edge here. If it's pushed all the way back, will help protect the front one. I'm suspicious that could be part of the problem. Installation. Look, maybe, maybe not, I don't know. You can see it's been up here. Is that me? Or look, I'm not too sure. But a couple of things, possible upgrades. A little bit better angle on the leading edge there for the back half of the bash plate, and possibly even extending this lip to overlap that a bit more so that it hits this one rather than that one, because I feel as though for some reason I just feel like it hitting this will have more strength than the one at the back, because this one's just kind of hitting. It all really comes down to more angle at the front would be great, but this is all back on. Tight, 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 and then so 10 bolts all tight, happy days. That's a video, it's all back together. Don't forget your airflow upgrade, because your ARB bull bar has just blocked out a whole heap of airflow with your winch and your number plate and your big chunk of steel. So just beware of that, right? Okay, hope you liked it, hope you learned something. I learned a few things. When there's something funny going on with bash plates, stay out of it, it's none of my business. Thanks for watching, bada bing, subscribe, turn the bell on, and we'll catch you on the next video. See ya.